So overall, of all the categories, we are going to say that the winner is, drumroll please.
Shalom YouTube family, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome to the family.
In today's video, we'll be giving you some of the differences between Johannesburg and Cape Town and letting you guys know which one we like best.
Also on this channel, we'll be traveling throughout the continent to show you the real Africa.
So if you like this type of content, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Let's go.
Now the first difference we want to get into is the scenery. Now, as far as nature is concerned, when we first got to Johannesburg, it was lush, it was vibrant, and it was very green. They had smaller hills and things like that. So I would say overall, it's a lot of natural beauty here. But then you want to go into Cape Town. Now, this is on a whole nother level, and not just even in South Africa itself, but around the world. Like we said before, this is one of the most beautiful places we have ever seen in life. Just the mountains, when you first get into the city, how the clouds just lay over top of the mountains, the beach, the beautiful water. I mean, everything about Cape Town screams beauty. So the Most High really did a wonderful job creating that place. So I would have to say for sure, when it comes to the nature side of things, Cape Town wins. The next thing we want to get into is the city and metropolitan areas of both places. Now, starting with Johannesburg, the downtown area is a little bit more run down and looks a little older, and it just doesn't look great. You can tell that's where it's more impoverished. But when you go to the outskirts like Sandton, Four Ways, that's where you really start to see luxury and beauty. I think Sandton, as far as square miles concerned, is the most expensive place to stay. So that's saying a lot. Now, when you look at Cape Town, the city is very beautiful. Like we said, the nature aspect, you can see a mountain from anywhere. Also, it's very clean, and it gives like San Francisco / New Orleans vibes to us, at least. But also with its own architectures, colors, and history behind the city. But it's not all beauty in Cape Town. You also have the little shanty towns. When you're driving from the airport, you see miles and miles of them. So you from that being said, you know that it's not all good in the city, and a lot of people are struggling and are poor. Now, there are also shanty towns in Johannesburg that we've seen, but not as much as we've seen in Cape Town, for sure. But we haven't been everywhere, so that's just a little disclaimer.
So as scenery goes, we'll definitely have to give that one to Cape Town.
Yeah.
Next thing we're gonna talk about is entertainment. So things we did in the Johannesburg area were things like Monte Casino, which you guys saw. We went to Botanical Gardens, which is upcoming. Y'all haven't seen that yet. Stay tuned for that. We went to the Voortrekker Monument. We went to Soweto. All of those things were very, very interesting.
And I think we went to a few malls. We got a video out coming on that too.
And then obviously there's movie theaters and all of those regular things, places to eat, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So in Cape Town, we did Boulder Beach. We saw the penguins, which were so cute. We did Table Mountain, which was an experience all of its own. Cape of Good Hope. We saw Cape Point. So I would say that there's definitely good things to do in both places. It's more of a nice like nature situation in Cape Town. In Johannesburg, we saw more historical things. So they were both really great, but like the nature point of it in Cape Town just kind of tipped it over a little bit because those things were so beautiful. And
then we can't talk about obviously things like nightlife because we have a baby and we
everyone's telling us it's popping at night. But
so you have to take that into consideration. We don't do everything for the simple fact that we have a baby, but for the things that we have done, we have to give it to Cape Town.
Right.
The next topic we're going to get into is the food. Now, disclaimer, we lived, well, I ain't gonna say live, but we stayed in Johannesburg for a lot longer than we did in Cape Town, so we had a lot more food. But the food that we did have in Cape Town was delicious.
Right.
I mean, extraordinary. We tried the bunny chow, we tried Cook Sisters? I still don't know how to say that, guys. I don't know which one it is. Y'all.
What we had, according to people's definition of it, we had a Cool Sister.
Okay, Cool Sister.
And we still have to try a Cook Sister. So if somebody knows where to get a good Cook Sister,
Drop it down in the comments.
Let us know.
But we had that, which is more like local stuff that's in Cape Town. Everything we tried was literally delicious, guys.
Right.
So, and it looked like they had more options when it came to like desserts and stuff like that. Now in Johannesburg, they're known for like the kota and stuff like that, and we had didn't have that here, but we had braai and stuff like that.
Right.
So the local foods also is very good in both places, but like I said before, we have more of it here. So food altogether, I would have to say Johannesburg is winning.
Right. Also, though, let us know in Johannesburg if you know where to get kota and stuff like that. 'Cause that's supposed to be a thing here, but we tried it there.
Yeah.
So let us know if there's a good place to get it here so we can do a little redo. Next up is weather. So in Johannesburg, it has been cold, but it was cold in Cape Town as well. Obviously, it's wintertime. But the cold has a little bit more of a sting to it, I would say, in Cape Town because there's more moisture in the air. So the cold felt a little colder. Also, while we were in Cape Town, it was more rainy, it was more cloudy. Yeah. So it seems to have been a little bit nicer weather in Johannesburg, but it still has to do with the time that we went. But also I would say it's definitely drier in Johannesburg. Very, very
way
dry,
drier.
which we don't love.
It's not good for your skin and stuff like that. So I don't like that.
Right.
But we more so like warm weather. And being that it's winter, it's a little bit warmer here in Johannesburg for sure.
We would say also that in Cape Town, the weather was a little bit more unpredictable. Like if today 2 days prior, we checked the date, a certain date, and it'll say, oh, it's sunny, and then the next day it'll say it's raining on that day. Yeah. So it's like it really fluctuated, so we couldn't really tell. But
what the weather was going to be.
It seems to be a little bit more consistent in Johannesburg. Like you check the weather, and it kind of usually is what it's saying. So that was another thing. But obviously, we did come in winter. Both places in winter, so we would like to revisit the situation in the summertime and see what we think then. But for now, we're gonna have to go ahead and give it to Johannesburg.
Absolutely. Now, the next thing we want to get into is crime. Now, this is a big one if you're a person that's trying to come to visit or to move. So, us personally, we haven't dealt with or seen any crime in either cities. But when you look at statistic-wise, it does show that as far as crime is concerned, altogether, Johannesburg is higher than Cape Town. Right. But on the other hand, when it comes to murder rate, Cape Town is higher than Johannesburg. So neither one is good, but like I said, we haven't dealt with any of it. So if we had to choose, just from statistic wise, we would say Cape Town probably have a little less crime.
The next thing we're going to talk about is the cost of living. So from our experience, like we stayed in Airbnbs and stuff like that, so we didn't necessarily spend more in either place. They were both pretty close. And even going to the grocery store and getting the things that we usually get, like for the baby and stuff, it was pretty similar. Eating out was pretty similar. One wasn't just like crazy higher than the other. They were both what and what. So for this one, because of that, we looked to the statistics. So according to Business Insider Africa, from the cost of living index, Johannesburg is more expensive than Cape Town, which was surprising to us, obviously, because Cape Town is pretty luxurious. But it's saying that based upon statistics, the cost of living is lower in Cape Town. So we would say for that one, Cape Town is the winner.
The last thing we want to talk about is the economy. Johannesburg is considered the largest economy on the continent of Africa, and its household salary is higher than anywhere else. I think it's about $18,000 on average for salary for the entire year. Also, it has the highest GDP in South Africa and still one of the top growing cities here also. So if you're a person that's want to move here to start a business or anything like that, then Johannesburg will probably be the best place that you want to stay, for sure. But I can say Cape Town is not that far behind when it comes to the economy. It's also one of the top economies on the continent too, but it's just a little lower statistic-wise than it is in Johannesburg. So I would have to give it to Johannesburg when it comes to economy.
So overall, of all the categories, we are going to say that the winner is, drumroll please, Cape Town. Yay! So obviously we do want to come back and visit both places in the summertime so we can kind of, you know, see the differences. And we got to hit Table Mountain up again because it was very cloudy.
So the defining factor for us would probably be just the sheer beauty of Cape Town. It literally is one of the most beautiful places on this planet. Absolutely. So if we had to move anywhere in South Africa, it'd probably be Cape Town. With that being said, family, we just want to say thank you so much for watching this all the way through, and we love you. And as always, family, shalom.
Shalom.